guys exploit that?
I think obviously, when you lose your best player or player of the year type of candidate, it's always tough for the opposing team. But I thought they did a really good job. I thought they battled, they played aggressive, they shot the ball exceptionally well, gave other guys opportunities. And we usually don't have a great result when teams make 11 threes against us. They were hot, they were hitting from all over, but I think it's also, for our guys, it doesn't matter who's on that court. You just got to play, and we've been focusing on trying to get better, doing some extra shooting practices. We talk about one more in our locker room. That's one more pass. It's good to great. And, I thought we did that tonight as well as we've done all year. And we're a different team. When you play the right way and you penetrate and you help your teammates and you're looking for assists, you're looking for each other, it just seems like you shoot better. It's like the basketball gods reward you. And I thought tonight was a great example of that.
And then after you guys went down for the first time, you called timeout, and then you guys responded with a 12-0 run. So just during that timeout, you said what? And what happened during that spurt?
You know what? What is it? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I can't. Listen. At the end of the day, all you're doing as a coach is you're trying to just push the buttons to get them to respond, and sometimes it's shaking them, sometimes it's waking them up, and to let them know, this is what we've worked for. This is our opportunity, and we need to pick it up on the defensive end. It felt like our energy levels were low. Our energy levels have been going up and down, but those guys came out there. I thought we really picked it up on the defensive end when we were able to get rebounds. We were able to push the ball, get in transition. They did a good job taking away Noah with our extra passes and guys getting in the gaps and kicking it out. We had a really good shooting night, and when you do that, we're going to win a lot of games.
When you pulled David at the end, it looked like you made a conscious effort to get the dog pack involved.
Yeah. Love the dog pack, by the way. How cool is that today? The mustaches and everything like that. How good are they? Unbelievable. Sorry.
What was it? But what did you like about his game today? Obviously, he was very productive, but what was he doing?
Listen, when your senior leader plays as efficient as he did tonight, he's probably the most criticized player that I've ever been around. And Twitter and all this stuff. Like, he's a guy that, he's bought into everything that we've done. Culturally, leader in the locker room, has been amazing. And, I see a guy go 7 for 11. 3 for 4, 6 for 8. See your other senior go 4 for 4, 3, 17. It's one of the most efficient games possible with Matisse and David. That was big time. Dom, and they did a good job. A lot of that was openings because of the way they were defending Noah. They made it very difficult for him, but everybody else got their opportunities. But as we move forward, that's what's going to happen. And they responded tonight. And I'm just happy for them. You're happy senior year to have a good game at home in a rivalry game in front of your fans, dog pack, alumni, friends, and family. How cool is that? And a long way to go, but it was a good start for us moving forward.
You did mention the idea of one more. Are you going to keep showing this tape as the example of what to go to?
Every good game that we've played, we have a collection of one more. But that's what it's all about. It's sharing. It's playing with your teammates. It's finding the open man. And how about Nas Carter tonight? He almost, what do you have? 9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists in 23 minutes. He was a difference maker out there. But one more is one of our culture words, one of our terms that we say, and one more rep, one more everything. But the big thing is one more pass.
Coach, you guys go on the road next week, and really in week 1 of conference play, Utah taking Arizona to overtime, Oregon State going on the road at Oregon. Is winning on the road going to tell the story of the conference this year?
I think yeah. Well, number one, you got to make sure that you take home court. That's number one. When we have the dog pack, we have fans like we had tonight, and we're going to have a good chance every game that we play. That's huge. And then I do believe the team that is really successful on the road is going to be a team that's will be competing for the championship. Utah has played exceptionally well this weekend. Larry Krystowak's one of the best coaches in the country, and his teams just keep getting better and better. And tonight they hit 11 threes. Against Arizona State they made 16. 16 can't be the number versus us. We've got to do a better job taking away the three-point line as we move forward and finish with rebounds. If we can do that, we'll be in any game that we play.
Was that one of the big things that you focused on in that timeout, was trying to run them off the line?
Got to run them off the line. A lot of teams, that 3-point line is the biggest weapon in sport, and they've got really good shooters, and we did a really good, mostly did a good job. I mean, they made some tough shots, and shot clock shots, from the Space Needle shots on the picture on the floor. And sometimes that happens, but there's a big difference between me saying, okay, I'm closing out to you. The difference, I'm closing out, or you're not shooting, I'm taking you away. And that's the difference. That's what we have to get better at.
How difficult is that? Just kind of.
It's very difficult. You know what? That's the activity part. And you look at our activity stats tonight. Obviously, we had 11. We have 11 steals and 5 blocks to our 11 turnovers. So 16 to 11. That's a big number. It's our activity. That's why I got more guys in the game early. We had some breakdowns, but for the most part, our activity solves a lot of the problems or a lot of the mistakes that we make. And sometimes you just go against really good shooters. But it's got to be an urgency mindset. It's got to be a take it off. There's no time to take a minute off, a second off. You got to know where those shooters are at all times.
And it seemed like the difference was, though, that with you guys, you had a plan B on the offensive end, and you went inside. You outscored them 34-12 inside, but they never really had a plan B. I mean, they just kept shooting from.
Listen, they make 10 threes a game. They made 11 tonight. That was the formula for them to beat us. We did a good job in transition. They like to get in transition. I thought we did for the most part. They went through a stretch. I think they got 2 transition baskets in that span. We did a good job keeping them out of transition. For the most part, I thought we kept them off the foul line, which was going to be I haven't looked at the numbers. I thought that was going to be a big part of it. And then you had to defend the 3, and we didn't do that as good as we need to in the future.
I know you talked about Ellaby earlier in the week about how he's coming home, he could be motivated. Was that kind of what you feared?
Listen, I think he's a great player, and I think he's a guy that just plays with emotion and heart on his sleeve. I've watched 5 or 6 games that they played, and he's fun to watch. We had recruited him, going out and watching him. He's a high octane. He just competes. I love that about him. He had a great night tonight. That's what happens. He's got a chance to be, freshman of the year in the league, and he had a great night tonight.
Coach David talked a couple of things. Number one, going back to having fun out on the court, address that a little bit, and also how he altered his shot, because he's had a lot more arc on his shot. Can you talk about those 2 things?
Well, a big thing that we did is we started having like 3 groups during the holidays. We had 3 40-minute workout groups, guards, forwards, and centers, and we did a lot of shooting practice. Just make sure that we're getting our reps in. And, we had conversations with the seniors just talking about, like, this is your last go-around and, your legacy and having fun. Even as a coach, sometimes as a coach you feel the pressure and the stress of what you have to be able to do, and you don't perform at your peak. You got to be confident. You got to know that you're prepared, and then you got to go out and have fun. The games are fun. Go blow it out. You know what I mean? Go play like you got everything, that you're putting everything that you got on the line. Just playing with a sense of urgency. And it's not about making shots, missing shots. It's about competing, doing those things. Now sharing the ball. And, we just focused on that this week. And I'm just happy they were able to have the games. Both the 2 of the seniors, Noah, they did a good job defending, but David and Matisse did a great job shooting the ball tonight, really efficient, and Dom brought great energy. I was just happy for the seniors.
Addition to the roster, can you give us like 20 minutes on Quad A?
You want 20 minutes? You get Quad A's. I'm allowed to talk about it, right? Yep. An elite point guard. I've watched him since he's been in high school. We recruited him at the other school that I was at. He's just an elite point guard, leader, winner. Oh, he's won his whole life. We're excited to have him here. The biggest thing is he fits what we're trying to build. Leader, winner, worker. Wants to be a part of something bigger than himself. And, Philadelphia and Seattle now. Not Sleepless in Seattle, Philly and Seattle.
How much eligibility does he have?
He'd have to sit out a full year right now, and then he'd have 2.5 years.
To complete a year and a half or 2.5 to play?
Well, he would have, he was a year and a half at Kentucky. He'd have to sit out a full calendar year. He would be eligible, I think I don't even know the actual, this time next year or before, and then he'd have, that would be the finishing of a second year, and he'd still have 2 years after that.
All right, thanks, guys.